What's going on, everyone? Peace and blessings. You already know what time it is. This is the time for the Rude Awakening. It takes place on Saturdays in the 3 o'clock hour on Facebook and in the 4 o'clock hour on YouTube. I'm glad that you joined in. My name is Adonis D. Johnson. I am the creator of I Am My Lifecoach, which is a personal, professional mental health tool that helps you become a better you. Mental health is the topic. How to encourage yourself, inspire yourself. It's an inside job. And that's why we created this broadcast, so we can make sure that we can make it happen for you. Let me give it a little time for everybody to log in. What's up, y'all? Y'all good? Peace and blessings. Hold on one sec. Small little step away. Got to plug in the charger. Let's get this work. Get on up in this room. We here for a good time, not a long time. We already know. I don't come to agree with the way you think. I come to challenge the way you think so that we can get something different. Many of us, we got to do something different. We have to do something different. There's a change that's coming about right now. We in a new place. We in a new month. This is a new time, and we going in a new direction. Bigger, better, greater. We never been there before. So let's not act like we've been there before. Let's act like we going somewhere. Let's get the right attitude. Let's get the right mindset. The only way to do that is we have to meet up at the Rude Awakening. We have to have a moment where we can check ourselves. We have to have a moment where we can sit back and catch our breath. We have to have a moment where we can put everything to the side. I'm not talking about doing this on another day. I'm talking about on this day. This is the day. This is the time. We allocated this time. This time is divine for you. You have to be present in order to make something happen in your life. What's happening? My name is Adonis D. Johnson. I am your transformation coach. Also the creator of I Am My Life Coach. We here to do it one more again. We here for another opportunity to do better. And right there is a moment that's only you can take advantage of right now. So let's just set the room, get the room right. I have some things I want to express to you. We coming in hot right now. Yes, we are. Greetings, Sean. What's happening? Everybody that's locked and loaded, right? Everybody's not going to get this. Everybody's not going to get this. But I'm glad that you here so we can get this. There's 12 months that makes up 1 year. 1 month done pass. For many of us, the directions was to write down one goal for every month, right? If you did not accomplish the goal that you set out to accomplish in that month of January, you move it over to February. You move it over to right now. We don't, just because it was delayed, it does not mean denied. Many of us, we walk away from things. We walk away from things and we forget, right? We forget how we supposed to conduct ourselves. We forget how we supposed to address ourselves. We forget how we supposed to represent ourselves. We can't go into a new place with old behaviors. You can be in an old place with your mindset on a new place, but you can't be in a new place with your mindset on the old place. For many of us, you cannot be at two places at the same time. And for many of you, as well as myself, do you ever recall or remember? Come on, recall or remember. This is a line of broadcast where you got to be open and you got to be honest with yourself. The only way this is going to work is you're going to have to be open and honest with yourself. The only one who knows what you do is you. The only one who knows what you did is you. Do not hide yourself in the closet. You go in that closet, close that closet door, and you sit in there with them skeletons, okay? They're not skeletons, to be honest with you. You know exactly where your little hideaways at. You know exactly where you done stuck little things in your life at. Let's go inside of there, close that door, and let's talk about it, right? Let's talk about it. For many of us, you cannot be in two places at one time. But guess what? We created a tool called I can multitask. I can multitask. Multitasking have got many of us in trouble. That's one reason why we confused right now. One reason we confused, I'm going to give you an example, is because we want to go this way and go that way at the same time. We want to talk and listen at the same time. We want to listen and write. Your child talking to you, mama, daddy, blah, blah, blah. You like, I hear you, go ahead. and you sitting here and you wondering, you cooking or something. Your mind is in one place. You're chopping onions on one hand. You're sitting here looking at something else on another. You scrolling down social media on another. And your kids is requesting you, right? And they trying to have a conversation. But since you can't give them your undivided attention, but you want somebody else to give you undivided attention. Well, let me tell you what happens with undivided attention. When you have undivided attentions, right? That means you locked in. That means you focus in, right? What did I tell you? The invisible crown. Oh, let me slow down. Some people are new to this broadcast. So let me just tell you how this works. We are the invisible crown army. The people you see chit-chatting in the lower end of your screen, those people make up the invisible crown army, right? There are angels that comes down and get in these little avatar bodies, and it helps us. That's the reason why you're sitting here, right? Okay, let me explain invisible crown real quick. Everybody take a moment, put on your invisible crown. What is an invisible crown? It represents two things. That's what you need to remember. The invisible crown represents two things. That's what I discovered. I don't have to look outwardly at people. I can see how they act. I can see if they have a crown on them based on two things. Now, if you master these two things inwardly, you will be able to recognize who have not mastered these things and who do not belong to this army called the army of angels. Two things that the invisible crown represent. One, it represents your character. Your character is some things that makes up what you display, right? What you display. So let's get into what a display looks like. Two things makes up the invisible crown, right? One of them is your character. Your character, right? Your character reflects what you put out. What you put out, people are able to see, right? Your character, right? Your character is a build up of things that makes up who you are, right? And people can monitor, people can watch. This is what got some people in trouble already, but I'm gonna go with two things that makes up the invisible crown. One is your character, the other is your attitude. Now, for many of us, we recognize that, yeah, this is my character, this is my personality, but you have to ask yourself, who did you get your character from? Who added on to the character that you have now? Some people, my students would tell me they got their character from their friends. Someone said, I got my character from my parents, right? Somebody said, I received my character from watching TV, okay? This is huge. This is huge. You never thought about your character. But yet we live in a world that judge you by your character. Even Dr. Martin Luther King says, judge me, right? Right? Not by my skin color, right? Don't judge me by this, but by the content of my what? Character. He had the first steps to the invisible crown. Character is important. Many of you never went to school for character. Never worked on your character. Let somebody define your character. And you define somebody else's right now. The same way they did you is the same way you do someone else. All right? Let's move over. Two things. Your attitude, right? Now, let's talk with attitude, right? With attitude, I showed you something. I showed you with attitude, it's like looking at the mirror. When you look in the mirror at yourself, right, and you fixing yourself up, right, is this your character that you're working on? Or is this your attitude, right? You see, when you're looking at yourself and you can see yourself, this is what gives you an attitude. So once you gather your attitude based on the fact that what you just told yourself, I know I look good. I know I got it together. I know I am intelligent. I know I'm ready, right? I know I'm smart, right? That's an attitude, right? What makes up an attitude? Three things, right? Your thinking, which is your thoughts. Your actions, which is the things that you carry out, right? And your feelings and emotions, right? Working together, right? Working together. That's what makes up your attitude. Even in scriptures, I'm sure you did not know. It says all things work together. For some of you, let's have a timeout. Let's do this timeout. We do the Mighty Monday Meltdown on Mondays in the 7 o'clock hour. I encourage every one of you to join us. Personal development and personal growth is so important. It's been overlooked even at this point. It's not too late to be what you might have been. Many of you need to write that down. Tell it to yourself today. It's not too late to be what you might have been. Okay? And we call a time out. But when we call a time out, we remove everything and we get everything out the way. We remove titles, we remove positions, we strip ourselves to the core of being just a human being, and then we put ourselves back together. Many of us, here's the PSA announcement, right? Public announcement. Many of us, we don't like to break ourselves down. We like to hide ourselves. We like to build ourselves up, and we create the wrong attitude. And now we have to hide. We have to hide behind the lies that we told ourselves. We got it going on. Oh, he's so fine. Oh, she's so good. Baby, you the world. Baby, you is not the world. Okay? You is not the world. The world is being made every day, and your attitude can be what destroys a world. That's the time out. That's the time out, right? And so let's be clear. Let's get back to the broadcast. Coming back out the timeout. Attitude, right? It's working together, right? I bet you when you look around, you thought all things work together. You talking about your bad moments. You thought God said all things work together. Well, who told them that, right? People utter out stuff thinking they can confirm things that they know, don't know anything about what they talking about. And we just soaked it up. We just took it on in, right? We took it on in, and it has crippled us. So let me repeat what I'm saying so the room can be reset. Your thoughts, your actions, and your emotions working together for your good. That means everything I'm thinking works with my actions. My actions is lined up with my emotions. So that's why God was able to step back every time he created something and said, that's good. What's the last thing that you created? The last thing that you created that you was proud of. Some people, you still trying to be proud of your kids. I'm so proud of my daughter. I'm so proud of my baby. Your baby is 14 years old now. Your baby's 17. I'm proud of my son. He just got a job at 18. You waited 18 years to be proud of something that you birthed. But at the end of the day, how was it the first 10 years? You see, it's good to be proud of something years later, but what's the last thing you created? And when you created it, you was proud of it. You stepped back. Well, guess what? Let's go back to this mirror thing right here. This is what the Invisible Crown Army is all about. This is what I Am My Life Coach is all about. I created I Am My Life Coach so it can help you mentally adjust, mentally recondition yourself, mentally renew yourself, mentally revive yourself, mentally restart yourself. There's nobody coming to rescue you. That's why you have to do it. But no one told you that it's an inside job. Nobody trained you that when life goes down, you got to be the one to hit that button and say, no, up. When life goes right, you got to be the one to sit here and say, nope, I was going left, right? Life will just throw you around. But if you don't ground yourself based on I Am My Life Coach, you're going to either lose control, spin out of control. And I guarantee you will end up being remote control. Remote control by one of the other. Which one? Maybe remote control by your feelings and emotions. You might be remote control by some of your actions. Some of you don't wait so you can respond. You actually react to whatever it is that's going on, which causes what? Stress and worry. And before you know it, you destroyed everything. I can give you so much, right? But a lot of the codes that was sent here, right? A lot of the codes that was sent here, it was encrypted. I've been privileged to be the one to decrypt the codes that was encrypted. So when I speak, I only come to deliver the truth. It's your job to take that truth and use it for the great of your good. Do not trust me. Trust you. I'm here to coach you, but you got to first become you. That's the deal in this thing right now, right? You have to be available for yourself. And I will show you, based on what I know, that you have the ability to grow everything in your life. All right. So let's get back to the invisible crown. The invisible crown represents two things. One is your character. Two is your attitude. Both of these things is an inside job. I expressed to you with my mirror, right? When you're looking at yourself, this does not create your character. When you're looking at yourself, this is what creates your attitude, right? Notice the back of the mirror is what people see. The front of the mirror is what you see. You see one thing, everybody else sees another, okay? Now, I always teach in a way that you need to focus on what you're doing. You need to know what the prize is. You need to know which way you're going in life, but you cannot go forward and backwards. This is an issue for some of us. Some of us is we want to be at the top, but yet we at the bottom. You see, when you want something opposite of where you at, you must first identify with where you at, and you put your hope in where you would like to be. You will begin to create a certain type of feeling. A feeling is one thing. Feeling and emotions is one thing that you need, right? It's almost like a buildup, right? That's one thing you need. There's two things you're missing. You're missing the actions and you're missing the thoughts working together. You got the feeling because you know where you want to be at, right? You got the feeling because you know where you want to be at. What we trying to do is we trying to create the right attitude to go with where we would like to be. See, some of us, we allow where we at now to dictate how we feel. We allow where we at right now to dictate what we do. We allow what we see to sit here and basically interpret, how the picture gonna be. And we end up falling for the okie doke is what they say in my day. We end up falling for the banana in the tailpipe, right? Eddie Murphy, right? Because we allow what we see to dictate how we should feel, how a person is. See, I know a person like that. I know we want to compare everything based off of where we've been. Scripture teaches you again, right? Here goes a service announcement. Public service announcement. Scripture teaches you, do not lean to your own understanding. Why would it tell you, wait a minute, God, don't lean to my own understanding, right? Let's just ask the question, God, why? Why would you tell me don't lean to my own understanding, Lord, right? Because when you walk into newness, oldness don't have no power over here. Okay? Now you need to use your past, which is your wisdom. You need to use it in the proper format, the proper way. But when somebody trying to give you something new, you trying to use your old to compare to what's new. And what ends up happening is you reject the highest form of ignorance is rejecting something you know nothing about. And let's go, y'all. Many people miss out on good friends because they didn't know nothing about what they should be looking for in a friend, because you was that friend. You had everything that person needed, and yet they didn't know what to do. Some people, you praying for what you already have. God, he been gave you what you looking for, but you don't know the instructions. You don't know, you still asking for the same thing. Soon as somebody praying, or soon as you turn to whatever, you try to jump right in. This is why it says you should not grieve the Spirit, right? You jump right in. Thinking it's going to add more to your life. No, it does not. It messes up your life more than it helps build up your life. Lean not to your own understanding, because that's over here, right? It says, put your trust in me, right? That's God, right? And God, higher self, right, will make your path straight. You see, you can't be on lower self with a straight path ahead of you. The path is not ahead of you, it's actually behind you. So when you looking behind you, your feelings is connected to what's behind you, right? So when you leaning, that means you looking in another direction. You looking this way, right? God said, do not look this way, but put your trust in this way. That's called higher self, right? Higher self meaning I am my life coach. I Am My Life Coach is a mental health tool. Being earlier, I stated that it grounds you. When it grounds you, it brings you to a sense of awareness, which means you are present. You are present in that moment called now. In the moment called now. Now that you are focused, you are alert, you have the right attitude. It doesn't matter about character. Long as your attitude has the power, has everything working together, then he said it'll be working for the good, which produce an image reflection, right, that goes from here to here. And it allows everyone else to see your character, because what's on the inside reflects on the outside. But for some of us, we like to look at the outside and we start using, right, our own understanding of what we gather. And guess what? What did you gather about your neighbor? Absolutely nothing. Because whatever the problem was you had, the solution went with it. Let's give an example. If they was parked in your parking spot, the solution is to move. Right? See, whatever the problem is in your life, it comes with the solution. Some people come to tell you what your problem is. Let's just use an example called me. Some people come in, you know what, let me tell you what your problem is. Not necessary. Okay? Well, I want to tell you about you. It's not necessary. Problem resolved. How did it get resolved? Because after this moment, you will never hear from me again. So the problem and the solution was connected together. You ain't get that? Let's go. Y'all want healing? We can go with healing. Sickness and health goes together. You become sick. What is it that you want? Health. You don't want to be sick and look back and say, I got sick because I put all these toxins in my body. I got sick because it runs in my family. I got sick because, see, if you sick, the opposite will be healing, health, right? It goes together. Okay, let's go deeper. Y'all want to go deeper? We can go deeper. This is the rude awakening. This is where we go deeper. We woo ourselves sometimes, y'all. So I want to let y'all know something. On this broadcast, anything goes, because we can go in, because we can go deeper, because we've been taught to go deeper, right? Let's go. Thirst. If you become thirsty, that is a condition, right? That is a condition that's happening. And now you got to trigger something. You got to trigger your feelings and emotions. Say, hey, listen, I'm thirsty, right? I'm thirsty. The body is overworking, right? You got to have action. We need to go get what? The mind says, go get some water, right? Go get some ice water. You need to cool down. All things working together. You see, thirst and whatever it is that's going to quench the thirst works together. Y'all got it? Cool. Invisible crown is character and attitude, right? I teach you anything that's working together will have power. That's why we come to work together. It's an inside job. You got to teach yourself, right? I'm here to coach you as you teach yourself, as I taught myself and continue to learn, right? I continue to learn. One thing I learned is that you can't do two things at the same time. That's the whole foundation to this particular broadcast. You cannot do two things at the same time. So I advise you to make some time for yourself. Let me show you what it looks like. I was talking to the students like I'm talking to you. I was teaching. Yes, I do teach in the schools, right? And I was talking to the students and I asked anybody, right? Anybody on this broadcast, let's go. Do any of you know how to speak sign language, right? And everyone said, no, I don't know how to speak sign language, right? I said, do anybody know how to read? I said, do anybody know how to read? Everybody raised their hand. I said, do anybody do not know how to read, right? Uh-oh, somebody said go deeper. Let's go deeper then. You want to trigger me to go deeper? Let's go deeper. I'll show you what it is to go deeper. Here you go right here. I asked them, do they know sign language, right? They said no. I asked you, do you know sign language, right? Guess what? What does this mean? Anybody knows. Anybody asks you a question, you say, mm-mm. You tell your child, mm-mm, right? What does that mean? Anybody want to type it? Anybody want to type it? Let me see. Let me wait for somebody to say type it. Let me wait for somebody to type it. What does this mean? Right and left. Right and left. What does that mean? Let's talk. Let's talk. Y'all know why that means no. Told you. You know how to read sign language. What if somebody flipped the finger at you, right? Guess what? You know how to read that, don't you? Mm-hmm. Right? Sign language, right? That means no. Now listen to this, right? Remember I said you cannot be in two places at the same time. Many of us, you have a habit. You have created a habit of multitasking. You say, I can multitask. I can do two things at once. The Lord said in this particular season, right? This will be the year of being seen. The year of being seen, meaning as of right now, You're going to have to stop. You're going to have to look, and you're going to have to listen. This is not the time for multitasking. We got to do away with that function. That function is something that's dysfunctioning and the malfunction. And now you think you want to get some progress done and you're not effective in anything you do. Remember the sign language? No, no, no. Watch this. Lean not to your own understanding. That's your understanding, right? That's your understanding, right? Right? But it says, trust in the Lord with all thy heart, right? Higher self. Remember the last, right? The last shall be first. Let's go the opposite way. The first, that was you. That was your understanding that he told you not to lean to, right? Your understanding was the only understanding. Come on, y'all. Let's have this moment. Your understanding was the only understanding. Some of you, your understanding is the only way you know how to have a relationship with whoever, whether that's boyfriend or girlfriend, is what you've been accustomed to. And what you've been accustomed to do not work no more. Your customs needs to be renovated. It needs some changes. It needs to be demolished. It needs to be brought down. So what the Lord said, he said the first shall be what? Last. That is your understanding that I told you don't you lean to. Now guess what? Some of you still monitor people based on what was you. But you a new you, but you still going off of what was, right? He told you to lean not to that, right? He said, in all your ways, trust in me. In all your ways, trust in your higher self, a place you've never been, right? The first shall be last, and the last. You thought you was putting God first. No, you wasn't. You was easing God out, G-O-D, easing God out, earthly grounds only, right? And then when the Lord finally came in, boom, he didn't need your permission. The last shall be first because you thought you was putting them first. God first. God first. And what did the Lord tell you? He told you they have my name in their mouth, but I am far from what? Their heart. Their heart. I'm far from what? Their heart. Their heart? Their heart. There you go. So he said the last shall be first, right? And the first shall be last, right? Watch this. This is good, y'all. This is good. This is a rude awakening. If you told the Lord to come into my heart will mean he will be first. Higher self, higher thinking. So when you said the Lord knows my heart, higher self is where the Lord is at. Lower self is where your thinking is at. That's the ground you think on, okay? This is good. I don't know if y'all getting this. Let me calm down. I got to make this point. So he said, in all your ways, acknowledge me and I'll make the path straight. Lower self can never make the path straight because it only can reflect the path it been on. So I don't want you to use what you've been on because what you've been on is not working right for going forward. So in order to go forward, you got to trust in the Lord with all thy heart, right? With all thy heart, right? All that means trust in your higher self. Trust in your higher self. But see, what I train on and what the Invisible Crown Army train on is we going to make sure that we pass this test when it's time to get into new places, that we don't perform poorly because we didn't properly prepare ourselves. What we do is we prepare ourselves. And that's why this broadcast was created in the first place, that we needed a place to train. We needed to know exactly what we need to do. We don't know what we do not know, but it is not too late to be what you might have been. So guess what, you guys? Watch this. He said, you can't be in two places at the same time, right? Sign language, this means no. Okay. Prosperity is over this way, to the right. Everybody looks to the right. Prosperity is to your right, right? And poverty is to your left, right? Okay, y'all got it? Now, when you're not working together, when things is not working together in your life, that's because you are multitasking. Part of you, right? You want a husband, right? But on the other side, you look and say, I'm single because whatever that goes with single. The last guy I was with, my last ex is this and this and that there. And then you get inside and something happens and you swing back over this way. But I want a God-fearing man, someone that knows you, God. Please, God, send me my husband. I'm ready. Send me my wife. Get her ready, right? And then as soon as something happens, you swing back over here and you say, the people that I used to be dealing with, she wasn't just ready. She was so simple-minded. She wasn't looking forward to prosperity. She was too busy talking about this way when I know God told me we need to get over here. But somehow people want to bring you over here and I want to multitask over here and see you over here, you looking over here, but then sometimes you end up going this way and this way and this way and this way. And look what the sign language is, you guys. You can't be two places at one time. You can't go both ways, and so we get confused. Eyes go cross, and guess what? You wondering, and Jesus shows up and say, boom, what do you see? And you looking like, I see that, God, and what am I saying? I'm saying that you want better, but yet you keep looking at the worst performance. You keep looking at what was. You can't get to where you're going when you're looking this way. You can't go forward and backwards. You can't look right and left, right and left. Right and left look like no, but you ignore the signals because you don't see the signal. You don't see yourself saying no. When your kids look at you, you like no. When you ask for something, then your parents look at you and they like, my grandma, not Carrie, my grandmother. You go pick up something in that house or in that stove, she look at you like, you in trouble. Why? Sign language. Because the action, right, that you've been taught, this look means it's about to happen. It's about to go down. Some of you still, your face expressions messes you up. You look like, when you angry, when you mad, somebody come in your presence. What's wrong? You be like, ain't nothing wrong. When you was in deep thought, you had everything working together, but it's not for you. You see, we have to bring this thing captive, right? He said, take every thought captive. That means you have power to choose. If anything does not point you in the direction of bigger, better, greater, something new, then you have to cast it down. You have to eject it. But some of you're so soon as things don't give you what you're looking for, you go run right back to what you already know. You see, some of you don't want to go buy a cookbook. You don't want to go buy something that tells you how to make new recipe. You don't want to go by the recipe. Nah, I'm going to use what I know, what I like. What you like does not allow you into a new area. See, you only know how to prepare what you know how to prepare. So you only going to cook what it is you know how to cook. I stated this yesterday in a little pop in and a pop out. I do pop ins and pop outs from time to time, right? I stated that many of the times people will sit here and base you according to their self, right? They will base you off of their self, right? And they will look at you and say, and they say, and this has something to do with what they see. But when that, what that means is sometimes you're not on their menu, but they want chips. They want fish and chips. They want deep fried chicken. They want egg rolls, and they want fried beans and fried rice to go with it, right? Do I look like I'm egg rolls? Do I look like I'm a hamburger type of guy? Do I look like I'm French fries and potato chips, right? That's for a chat. Do I look like a Happy Meal? No. But since I don't meet your menu, which means I'm not on your menu, okay? Now, nothing wrong with wanting bigger, better, greater. But I told you that bigger, better, greater will bring on you a hater. And what's the hater? What's the hater? Why do people hate on you? They hate on you because you choose to wait. You choose to wait and you don't participate in their foolish thinking. See, when you know better, you don't do better, okay? When you know better, you don't do better. You just ground yourself even more and say, I got to hold on. Because at the end of the day, you see, I could go in, but I don't want to go in. Because I know going in going to cause us a problem. There's triggers in these things. And we got to make sure that those triggers don't jump off, right? Well, let's go into the next segment. What's going on, you guys? I got to reset this room. Right now. So I want to welcome everybody here to the Rude Awakening. This is when you get a rude awakening, right? The whole broadcast is based off personal development, personal growth, how to inspire yourself, encourage yourself, and believe in yourself. There's no one gonna come into your life and root for you, clap for you, or even make sure that you are functioning in a way that you can succeed and reach prosperity. Now, I understand some of you. I don't need nobody to come into my life. Oh, yes, you do, right? You have to build a network that's prosperous for you. You have to build something in order to live in a community. Many of us, I'm a loner, not at this point, right? My circle small. It's not a matter of if your circle is small or not. What is important is what can your circle accomplish. I recognize you can go take out a whole army, a whole village. You can go take out $1 million loan or a contract or something with 2 people, 3 people, okay? But I don't want a small circle and we don't do nothing but go sit at the bar. That's the wrong circle right there. You got the wrong mindset. You see, you want bigger, better, greater, but you're looking at something that's not prospering, right? That system is no good. See, we multitask. Remember I told you, we give off signals. It's called no, right? We have to make sure that we're functioning in the area, in the direction we're supposed to be functioning in. Oh, I didn't put the music on. We need the music. We don't want to live in a confused state of mind. Now, you was created with a purpose. I'm here to help make sure that purpose is fulfilled. What music needs to play in order to make you function the proper way? Some songs you can put on and you will dance to that song. You put on a different song, like a stepping song, you might say, I don't know how to step. But you go out and you try to do what you saw someone else doing, right? You put on some slow music, you might want to slow dance, right? Slow dance. It went like this, right? 2, 2, right? Right, like that. You put on some salsa, right? For some of us, we only know suavemente. We don't know nothing else, right? Despacito, that's it, right? And we might want to do our little, because it looked funny, but we don't understand the language, but we understand what we see, right? Some of us, we look at what we see, but we don't understand the mechanics, the makeup to what we see. Some of you, I asked you to go into your closet. What's going on, Tony? Peace and blessings all day. Let's keep it moving, you guys. So at the end of the day, we don't really know exactly the words, but we actually imitating the actions. For many of us, we have imitated, we have faked it. We have faked this thing called life, right? We have faked. You see, many of us are not faking being depressed. We faking being okay. Let's be clear. For some of us, we not faking. You can't fake being depressed. You faking being okay. And you not okay. But sometimes you want to not be okay because of somebody else's action. But in all truth, you not okay because you need help with your actions. You need help with your thoughts. You need help with your emotions. You see, they not working together. And being that they not working together, something is broke. But when it's broke, we have got into the habit of accusing someone else. They broke my heart, right? They sitting me off, right? They didn't want me, so I reverted back to what it is I know. Not gonna level up. See, leveling up requires more, right? Watch this, you guys. That's that extra breath coming in. That's that extra breath coming in. So when we don't understand something, right, we like to mirror. We like to mirror. We like to hear other people's music, so we sing it, and it makes you feel some type of way. That's only one trigger. That's your emotions, right? Some of you can hear some music, and you will end up feeling some type of way. It'll make you go in the kitchen and start cooking. How many of you, when you clean up, you put music on, right? A certain music, it makes you clean up, right? It's a trigger. Emotions, actions, and your thoughts, right? They done took over, and it making you do what it is, right? Some people will put some music on, they will clean like never before, right? They will clean like the right music will make you do the right things. You are a creation. You are a creation. You are God's creation. He sent you down here to be an expression of Him. Okay? What music needs to play in order to make you function the way you need to function? For many of us, we don't know. AJ, I don't know what you're talking about. For some of you, you better tell me to go deeper because I got to go deeper. I got to go deeper for those that don't know, okay? I got to go deeper for those that don't know, but you better tell me to go deeper. Let's go. Somebody tell me to go deeper, I go deeper. I will rip this thing up. Come on, y'all. This is the Rude Awakening. Y'all know how we turn up in here. Some of you need first-time responders. Let's go. Melody said, let's go deeper, let's go deeper. See, when you got people in your life, you need first responders. You need people that when you have an issue, they jump in and tend to the issue. When you wound yourself, they jump in and fix the wound. When you lacking, you ain't got to ask. They already jump in. Many of the people that's in the Visible Crown Army, I guarantee you they are a majority of the people that's on this broadcast are first responders. But sometimes we get tired. Sometimes we need to be revived. Sometimes we need to be renewed. Sometimes we need to call the time out. Like, hold up, call time out for a second. Okay, because I done jumped in battles that wasn't my battles. I done jumped in fights that wasn't my fights. I done jumped in situations like I was the bank. I don't even have money on my own, but I still have lent. I have lent when I did not have it. I have given when I don't really got it. But what am I saying? Bigger, better, greater. What am I saying? I stay rooted to the cause, the way that I was created. Come on, y'all. A jukebox plays music, okay? A jukebox plays music, okay? Watch this. You don't hear no music if you don't put nothing in. Let's go. You do not. Let's start over. Let me get this right. What's going on, everybody? My name is Adonis D. Johnson. I'm your transformation coach. After this broadcast, I would like you to send this broadcast to 5 chosen friends. Don't just share it. Forget the share. Let's choose 5 people right now. Some of you got over 100 to 500 different people following you. It's about time that you make it personal. I'm asking you, can you share this broadcast with 5 people? Just hit the little messenger button. Send it to a couple. Scroll the little thing. Don't just choose the first 5. Scroll that thing up some. Let's get some of them people at the bottom, right? At the bottom. Let's get some of them people in the middle. Click a M person and an L person and an S person and send that out, right? What that does is that open up your broadcast a little bit more. What am I doing? To help me, it helps you. But I want to help you with your content. I want to help you with your wall. Let's get back to it. A jukebox. Many of you are considered to be a jukebox, okay? A jukebox has all type of music inside of it. All type of music, right? Now, when you think of a jukebox, it plays music on its own. That means you don't control what's being played, okay? Now, these songs are already preloaded. You got your favorite songs and you got songs you don't even know. You got songs you want to hear, right? What if I told you God created you as a jukebox? He created you to be the jukebox. See, a lot of us, we want to go look for a laugh. We want to go look for music. We want to go look for somebody else to play for us, right? What does it take for you to play your music, right? Let me be honest with you. When you put something in, right, you get to pick your song. It's just like going in the store. When you got your music, a restaurant, when you got your menu and you go in a restaurant, you get to choose what you want, right? Your money makes you can have choices, your selection. Come on, y'all, a selection. When you doing what you doing. Ooh, this is so good. Watch this, you guys. You see, when you go in a restaurant, you get a menu, you can choose what you want based on if you can afford it or not. This is your Rude Awakening. Here go the Rude Awakening. You guys are the jukebox. What is it going to take for you to play the music that you need to play to make your character and your attitude line up to be visible so God can be visible? Okay? The invisible crown consists of your character and attitude. So when you put it on, that's so God can be visible. He goes from invisible to visible inside of you. You start playing the music that he wants you to play, right? Now watch this. If you don't put nothing in, then you don't get nothing out. For many of you, you don't put nothing in life, you don't get nothing out of life. In order to become something, you must first be something. In order to become something, you must first be something. You're not a product of your past. You are the decision of your right now. Come on, y'all. Some of you want to be the product of where you come from. You want to represent the projects. You want to represent the worst area. You want to represent black. You want to represent your race. You want to represent your whatever the condition is, the single mother. You want to tell the story. You're telling the wrong story. I'm by myself. I'm raising my kids you telling the wrong story. You gonna always tell this story because you always drawing on people that want to hear sympathy. The people that want to hear you be the victim. Nobody want to hear this song, but you keep playing the same song, right? Because at the end of the day, in order to become something, you must first be something, right? But I know I'm somebody, and it's based off of where you've been. It's not based off of where you're going, because I'm trying to let you understand newness requires newness, right? Watch this. You have to be something. So that's in the right now. What are you going to put in you right now so that you can grow and develop what you desire to hear, to see? And remember I said it's not too late to be what you might have been. You have to be what you want to see. Well, where am I seeing it at? I'm seeing it in my thoughts. I'm seeing it on another level. I'm seeing myself in self-improvement. I'm seeing myself walking better. I'm seeing myself happy. I'm seeing myself feeling like I just want to trust. Many people be like, I just want to trust somebody. That trust starts with you trusting yourself. See, you don't need to trust nobody. You need to trust the body. The body is the one that you in. The jukebox is the music that you play, but your music is not coming out. Why your music ain't coming out? God created you a certain type of way, but you don't want to put nothing in order to get something out. You don't want to put nothing in. Come on, y'all. At some point, I knew when I was coming back. Come on, y'all. Tell me to go deeper. I'm going to go deeper. I'm telling you right now, you guys, when I came back to this city and God restored me and brought me back, I did not want a business. I did not want real estate. I did not want a house. I did not want cars. I did not want jewelry. I did not want clothes. I did not want anything. What I wanted to do is to restore myself. Come on, y'all. Get your mind back right now. Let's shift this thing. Here it comes. The movie Matrix, right? Remember the red pill and the yellow pill or the green pill? Notice the red pill, if you ate the pill, then this will bring you to reality. That means your eyes come open. If you eat this green pill, this other pill, right? That means you're going to continue to go in a rabbit hole, and you're going to continue to chase the carrot but never catch it. You're going to continue to be tempted by everything you see. Everything you see going to draw you to it. Why do you think for the Invisible Crown Army, God told us, lead us not into temptation? That means we can look at something and we don't feel that it has a pull on us. But for those that don't know about how to ground yourself and put this invisible crown on, you led by everything you see, and that's why you confused, because you multitask. So you doing one thing, but then you getting pulled over here, and then you 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 over here. And I can do more than one thing at a time. No, you cannot. You see, you tempted, you greedy. That right there is a pet peeve of mine. You greed. 2, you ungrateful. What am I saying? That means you don't give nothing the attention it rightfully requires or deserve. So you now, what am I saying? I'm saying you are all over the place. That means your thoughts, your actions, and your emotions is not working together. So what does that bring on? That brings on worry. That brings on stress. Come on, y'all. This is where we at right now. You have to love yourself, but it's not just the word. It actually is your thoughts, your actions, backed by your emotions. Working what? Together. That means everything works together for the power of good. So what am I saying? You got the green pill today. You got the red pill today. When I came back, I didn't want nothing from the world. I didn't want a title, which means I did not want a friend. I did not want nobody in my life that think they needed to be in some type of position. I didn't need nobody sitting here trying to wait. If you couldn't come meet me in the spirit, if you couldn't get out that boat that you've been depending on and walk your butt on that water like Peter did to get to Jesus, then you wasn't getting to Adonis D. Johnson. What am I saying to you? I'm saying the only way to come and touch me is you're going to have to get out of your body, and that means you got to come and get me in the spirit. We can have a talk in the spirit. See, I can come to you, but many of you can't come to me. Ain't that something? God can come to you, but you can't go to God. Because you can't get over yourself. You can't get over how you feel. You still lean to what your own understanding. You keep wanting the green pill and you keep going off of, I just want this, and you triggering hunger. So what he does, he provides you with the food, which will make the savior. Because the problem is I'm hungry. So the food is connected to feed the hunger. So you're not hungry no more. So now you're looking around here. What else do you need, right? I'm sick. So what he end up becoming? He becomes the medicine, right? So he makes somebody prescribe you some medicine. Take these directions. Take this medicine 3 times a day. Here's your prescription. Go get it filled. When you get here and they fill your prescription, they're going to put 14 of them in here, right? 14 of them. There go 1, right? There go 2. They're going to put 14. They're going to say for 14 days, you take 1 a day. And guess what? What are they doing? They are actually conditioning you to be consistent at some. So now guess what you're depending on? You depending on the product. You depending on what was made. They know about the medicine. You do. You do not. And when you go get the medicine, they say, do you need any instructions? You be like, no, take it once a day and you keep it moving. And then once things happen, guess what? You back to doing what you wanted to do. You ignore the signs. Well, let's go ahead and close it out. Can I go deeper, y'all? I got a little time left. Can I go deeper? Let's go deeper. You see, when we connect to something that we don't understand, we need to learn how to be quiet and we need to watch the warnings. A lot of us, we miss the warnings. We miss the warnings, right? The warnings is right before us. Remember, if we can sit here and recognize that the power comes from within us and then it goes out, it reflects, right? But we got to first recognize, what do you see? What do you see, right? Is there any error codes? Is there anything about you? You need to first sit down, have a moment with yourself, ask yourself, oh, somebody said go deeper. Let's go deeper then, right? Let's start with the top. Remember I said all things work together for what? For your good. Let's get to let's get to good and let's get to great. Let's make these things work together. I told you, your attitude makes up what? 3 things. 3 things. 3 little things that you need to master. This is an inside job, but I guarantee you, if I ground you, right, it will help you as we continue to move forward. So let's move forward, you guys. Let's go. You see, when you do not exercise self-control, right, when you do not take the time out to recognize which way you're going, for the people that's on this broadcast, the Invisible Crown Army, there's no doubt we going bigger, better, greater. That means we looking this way. But if anybody that decide they want to look in their past, then you looking this way. And if you keep doing this, right, because you can't do this and this at the same time. See, many of us, we want to multitask, but if you stop and shoot at your target, you will hit that target. But for those that aim at nothing, will hit anything. So you cannot hit what you're looking for long as you looking this way, that way. I want it, but I don't. 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 Right? I want to be in somebody, but I ain't with nobody. I want to be this, I want that. Right? But you don't have the attitude. So it's all out of control. What is that called, right? I'm glad you asked. That's called mental, right? You mentally, right? That's your thoughts. Your thinking is all congested, right? It's out of place, right? It's out of place, right? That's mental transmitted. What do I mean transmitted? That means your thoughts are all over the place. And when you get around somebody else, right? You get around somebody else, that energy mess up your energy. You see, that energy should supposed to line, that mess up your energy. And you got to be very careful about who you allow around you at this point. When we go bigger, better, greater, people will be very careful about you because they recognize where you come from. You see, we ain't always been here. Okay, let's be clear. We was here. All right. We was here. The first, right, which was this was the only thing that was at play. And we let everybody play with us until they done played so much that we don't even know how to sit here and be effective in life. We don't know how to be effective in life. We don't know how to make progress. We don't know how to channel our own thoughts. Every time we got a situation, somebody else giving bad counsel, you need to go see a counselor. You need to go see a psychiatrist. You need to go see my life coach. You need to go see my financial planner. You need to go see my dietitian area. It's like you have crippled yourself with this economy that's going on. It don't allow you to do anything. It don't say you got this. It don't say, hey, listen, I don't think you need to spend your money. Some of us, we don't even have money. We don't even have insurance. You know what? I think you need to go over here and go talk to them. Everything requires money, and money is an issue. I can barely pay my light bill. I can barely pay my gas bill. Money is an issue. I ain't got this type of time. So what we do, we untreat things. That's what mentally, right? We don't read no books. We don't go to the library. We don't try to update our mental. We don't sit here and try to connect with someone. So remember, when you go bigger, better, greater, right? It's not too late to be what you might have been. We going into a new place, right? New place requires you to stop, look, and listen. Do not open up your mouth on what's behind you. Because the moment you do this, God said, do not lean to your own understanding. You are in violation. And he started declining that pressure. Right? You keep telling yourself, okay, God, stop. I got it now, Lord. You go into prayer. You know, I'm going to keep my mouth closed. I'm just going to shut up. The Lord said, okay, that's a deal. This thing becomes deal or no deal, right? They be like, I'm going to shut up, God. And God kind of raise you up a little bit. As soon as you get into somebody coming to your presence that's on a higher level and have a conversation, you want to tell them about themselves. You look back this way and you decline more. Remember? Deal or no deal, right? Deal or no deal? You want to stay here? Or you want to learn to talk to the Lord the proper way, right? Still trying to do this. But God, you go back into prayer. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. What should I do? What should I do? Right? Deal or no deal? People like, come on, you got it. They're rooting you on, right? Now, bigger, better, greater, right? New areas, new things. You trying to get over here, but you can't be over here without no money or nothing, right? What am I saying? Mental transmitted disease, right? Disease meaning exactly what it says. Just break the words up. Discomfort, dis-ease, right? Mentally exhausted, right? Some people, they rub their head, right? I'm mentally exhausted, right? That's MTD, right? MTD. You got to make sure that you got the fuel get you somewhere. Fuel is an attitude. Remember, I told you the invisible crown represent what? Character and attitude. Your attitude is what gets you this way. Okay, y'all don't got that. Let's go deeper. Let's just say prayer. Praise, and worship, right? Praise is like prayer, right? Prayer changes things, right? That means we pray about it. God, come on now, Lord, give us another chance, right? Notice, forgive, right? That means it was given, but I'm asking you, forgive me, right? Forgive me, and I got to forgive somebody else. That means they owe me. That means I owed you, but I forgot about giving you what you deserve, and I forgot about giving me. So that means to do away with, right? Right? Like forgivable loans, right? This loan is forgivable. That means I gave you the money, but now it's forgivable. That means you don't owe me no more, right? Isn't that like your God, right? Anyway, MTD, right? So now this is mental, right? Prayer changes things. Worship releases things, right? So now we got to praise and worship. We got to release some stuff. So we asking God to release. God, listen, bigger, better, greater, Lord. So that means you got to have a stretch. You have to have a reach, right? And so we're reaching, right? You have to make sure that you have the right attitude. Attitude consists of your thoughts, your actions, and your emotions working together will give you the attitude that you can accomplish bigger, better, greater. Notice, I did not say your feelings working by itself. Okay? Now watch this. That's MTD. Okay? Let's go on down. Let's go on down, right? Now, spiritually, here it come. Spiritually, right? For some of us, right, we got spiritual transmitted, right? Discomfort. Because religion, lower self, has done its job on us, right? For many of us, we quote things. We see here, the Bible said this, the Bible said that, right? And at the end of the day, how's it working for you, right? Some people will come into your life, y'all, will sit here and tell you, it's almost like this. Play with fire. It burns like never before. Play with fire and it will mess you up. Man, fire will mess you. Play with that fire. You put your hand in that fire and it'll give you a burn like never before. And then somebody come and ask you, how you know? Right? And you be like, what do you mean how I know? You play with that fire, watch it burns you. It burns like never before. You say, how do you know? Right? How do you know? Iron sharpens iron. How do you know this? Well, the Bible said, because the Bible said, right? But you said it burns like never before. As if you got burnt before. By touching the fire. You see, a lot of us, we speak as if we got the experience to support what we speak about. Come on, y'all, that's spiritual. You see, we want to spiritually transfer this discomfort. You sinning. I'm sinning. How do you know? Because the Bible said, or my pastor said, or somebody else said, if you do this, then you sinning and you going to hell. How do you know? Did you go down to hell and make sure that's valid? Did you support that with your actions? Can you confirm this? Okay? But the Bible said it. But you said that you're going to get struck down like never before. But can you confirm it, right? See, that's spiritual transmitted, spiritually transmitted, right? Discomfort. That's another one. So we got MTD. We got the spiritual one, right? Now we got the physical one. This PTD, right? That was physical, right? That was physical, right? PTD. Y'all see where I'm going with this. The few. Let's get on down to STD. Sexual transmitted discomfort. What am I saying? I'm saying that it's nothing wrong with what you do. Is it working together? Is your thoughts, your actions, and your emotions working together for what? For good. Bigger, better, greater. You see, we like to ignore. We want the fuel, but we ignore the fumes. You see, if you smell the fumes, then that means something is wrong. And when something is wrong, you got to go to the doctor, but you got to take your car to the doctor. And you got to say, look, I smell something that ain't hitting. It's hidden, but it shouldn't be hidden like this. See, that means something is wrong. That doesn't mean you going to hell. That means there's a problem. There's some off balance, right? Something done went off track. But at the end of the day, all you can do is fix what done went off track. But don't just sit here and act like STD, which was the sexual transmitted discomfort, right? When you got a mental transmission discomfort, right? Transmitted discomfort. That means your mind ain't smart enough to understand how you gonna have to function in this thing called life. But see, we want to look at what we know that we have and we want to feel some type of way. But your mental, right? All three, your mental, your physical, and this spiritual thing gonna all have to be working together for what? For good. Because the moment you become bigger, better, and greater, everything lines back up and you recognize that this is a part of you understanding how this thing called life works. Come on, y'all. We here to build the life right now. You can't sit here and press something on me that you ain't pressed on yourself. This is an inside job. You gotta be the one to make the correction. You gotta be the one to recognize that the fuel gonna also give off some fumes. You see, sometimes some people got their fuel going and that car is running, but the fumes can kill you. The fumes, if you put your car in a garage and you leave the car running, that fume that the gas that comes out the tailpipe, it can kill you if it can't breathe. Come on, y'all. Some of you can sit here and get a yeast infection if you keep wearing tight clothes and bottling that thing up. Some stuff got to breathe. Come on, y'all. You was created to breathe. That means to grow. If you not breathing, you not growing. Some of you, we ain't breathing, so it's supposed to lead you this way, which give you your heart attack, which takes you out. What am I saying? You have to breathe. Breathe is knowing that all things, my thoughts, that means I don't think negative, I think positive. Whatever they say, I recognize if I heard a problem, then the solution is connected to it. I recognize that whatever the situation that's going on, that as soon as I see the situation, I can assess it based on where I sit at. Everything working together for what? For good. That means that's where I'm going. My thoughts is there. My feelings, I feel good about where I'm going. Some people, I feel good about where I'm at right now. Everything is good. Everything, my actions today, I actually cleaned up my house. I actually went and worked out. I actually cooked today. I actually did this. See, actions, back by. See, faith, substance. What's the substance? The substance is, faith is a substance. That means, something got to support it, right? Got to support it. Of evidence, right? Evidence is when you smell that odor, that means it's a problem. You can you can go around somebody and they can have a must to them. They musty. They body. You smell like, man, you smell musty, bro. Like, what's going on? You can smell her. Some of these women be musty too. Let's be clear. They be like, because they just go so hard. They go to the gym, lady, you gotta go jump your butt in the bathtub or something. You gotta go soak that. Don't just take a shower. No, you gotta squat, sit, lay there for a minute, okay? And what am I saying? I'm saying a odor, a fume, everything that gives out power. Everything that got power to it has a fume that comes from it. But when you see that odor is off, okay? Some people, wait a minute, let me check, let me go wash up under here, right? Because you might miss a spot, right? And for many of us, right, you have to understand, don't overlook the signals and the signs, okay? Mental, transmitted. That one is crucial. I want to be honest with you. That stress right there, that's the one that kills you, okay? That's the one that takes you out. But we want to learn, we want to go with the physical one. Okay, that's fine, that's the physical, right? The physical, right? Okay, that one right there. Transmitted though. How did it get transmitted? Because lazy draw on lazy, right? Remember he said bad company corrupts good character. So your bigger, better, greater going this way, but your hater is what you focus on that way. So you like, this one I'm going, but I'm entertained by this. This one I'm going, but I'm entertained by that. This one I'm going, and you like this, and you like this, and you like this. And you start sending out a signal, and you ignore the signal. You ignore that signal. And before you know it, boom, you gone. Okay? So, that's what I wanted to give you. Y'all took me a minute to get there. Oh, he said close it out. Let me close it out. Here's the closeout. Here's the closeout. Here's the closeout. The closeout is you was created to be a jukebox. A jukebox has music loaded in it, right? Some of you need to unload what's been loaded inside of you from your past. You see, when you don't put nothing in the jukebox, then every now and then the jukebox plays a selection of your past, right? You didn't ask it to play it. It played on its own. Because what it does is it encourages people to come and play, put something in it to play something different. So you don't choose what you hear, right? You just listening. And many of you so entertained by everything else that God said it's about time for you to play the music that's inside of you. See, you want to hear everybody else's song. You want to sing everybody else's song. And you want to act like you wrote that song. That song is not your song. What is it going to take for you to play the music that's going to be good for everything that's around you? See, you love the songs you love because the way it makes you feel, right? You love what you hear because it's how it makes you feel, right? But what song that's trapped inside of you? If God is the creator and he created you as a jukebox, then what are you going to put in you to make you play for where you see yourself at? To make you play your music. What are you going to put inside of you? Take that pill. Open up your eyes. Let's clear out every song. Let's clear out what your mama told you. Let's clear out what your daddy told you. Some of you can't get to the relationship you want because you basing everything up off of your parents. My parents was together for 40 years, for 50 years, for 60 years. And yet, you watch them. You don't have nothing on your resume at all. My mama, she was a pastor. She's an apostle. And trust and believe me, she has testimonies after testimonies that goes with her to make her understand who God is. You don't have one experience, not one encounter. People can't keep carrying you. It's about time you let other people rest in peace. And it's about time you step up and be called to make it happen for you. Let's go, you guys. We have watched other people. We have watched other things and we have clapped for them, right? We have clapped and applaud for somebody singing. We have watched the fights. We watched the game like you down there playing that game. I'm a Bulls fan. You are a fan of everybody else. You a fan for the football. You a fan for the basketball. You a fan for baseball. You love this artist. You love her. You love Robin Thicke. You love whoever. Why do you love everybody but you? Why do you love everybody but you? You have to uninstall every song and we have to load in your music now. God is waiting for you to play the music of how he created you to be. People need to say amazing things about you, but you don't do it for them. You do it because that's what you created to do. You don't do it for somebody to applaud you. You don't do it for somebody to sit here and uplift you. You don't do it because you feel like you need somebody else to sit back and feel sorry for you. We don't feel sorry when you win it. You don't feel sorry when you got God and you know that God is listening to you and you listening to God. You don't need that. People play the victim because they like the attention. This is the time. Stop, look, and listen. You will rot looking for some attention, okay? And many of us done rotted. But guess what? Even in your rot state, he said you rot to the core. Some of you on this broadcast, this is a rude awakening. You done rotted to the core, but at least you got down to that seed, okay? Some of you done rotted to the core, but at least you got down to that seed. For the other ones, like me, I didn't rot to the core. I got cut. I was cut, chopped down to the core. It pulled out. I had to cut it down to the core. And what am I saying? Cut off the things that's not going to make you prosper. Not people. Let's try your attitude. Let's work on that. Let's talk about your communication. There's 12 months. Now we down to 11 months left. If you didn't get what you desired to have in the first month, move that thing over. And you got 2 things now that you got to sit here and manifest and see happen in this month right now. Every month we got a goal, but if you didn't get it last month, you better move that goal. Matter of fact, everybody that had the goal in the first month, move it over to the second month. Now you got 2 goals in this month. I'm going to make sure this thing manifests. I'm going to make sure whatever you writing, it grows, but you better make sure that what you writing grow you too. I don't want to see it grow. I want to grow with it. This thing better grow in me. So what did I do when I came back from the mental hospitals and all of that? People say, AJ, how did you do it? How did you do it? I started sowing into myself. I started eating that thing because at the end of the day, I refuse to keep putting stuff out and people still. I refuse to keep trying to entertain everybody else. I got silent. I got quiet. And I come around somebody, give me something, give me that. And I'm going to eat it. Why? Because now I need to grow me. And here I go. Come on, y'all. Invisible Crown Army, thank you for your time. I pray that you guys got this message. Sign language. You can't go this way and this way at the same time. You got to choose one. Multitasking is what you created. We wasn't created with a multitask, okay? God do not multitask. He is very intentional. So you should be very intentional. If you got my attention, you better make sure it makes sense because once it's done, you might be done. Let's be clear about it. When you get my attention, believe me, be careful what you ask for because I will tell you, are you ready for the truth? And don't ask no question that you ain't thought about what my answer can be. Because I'm going to tell you right now, when I give it and we get down, see, long as we up in here, we got some wiggle room, okay? Some of us, we got some wiggle room. God said, I knew the end in the beginning. But long as we up in here, we got some wiggle room. You got that? Wiggle room. But the moment you get to the bottom line, whoops, the moment you get to this bottom line, your wiggle room is done. Your stay is done. We at the bottom line. The bottom line is, can you prosper? The bottom line is, are you ready to handle what goes with the future? The bottom line is, are you fully equipped? I'm talking about, well, I'm quarter equipped. I got a little something. Your little something needs to go serve a little something. Okay? I got mine together. Then you're getting it together. I can get mine together. Need to be around people that's trying to get theirs together. But I'm talking about where I'm going. You shouldn't have to get it together. It should already be together. Let's go fully equipped. There you go. Ready to perform. Put that coin in, and that boy should be ready to play that music. And whoever listening to your music should be able to dance off the tunes, should be able to dance off of what you playing. But see, if you think that you're finna play some trap, if you think that you finna sit here and play some thugs, some toxic, some problems, if you think you finna run your mouth and somebody finna hear you complain, reason my problem is, ain't no men around, that's the music you playing, but God is the creator. Ain't no good men no more, so God don't make nothing good no more. These days, these women out here also, God, so you just messing yourself all the way up. You see what you playing? These women out here these days, God put you down here to talk about these women these days, huh? You just talking, I just feel like they need God. Oh, well, ain't that something you telling, you sit here broadcasting they need God as if you don't. There you go. This is The Rude Awakening. My name is Adonis D. Johnson. Make sure 5 people get this broadcast. Make sure it ain't the same 5, though. Make sure it's a different 5. Every week, we're going to do something different. Let's just try something different. Don't sit here and share it to your page because Facebook controls this, right? I need you to go into your message and just shoot it to them. Bow, 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 bow. Check that out. Because at the end of the day, I hope that we can send a message and that message comes back to you and they can identify it's about who you connect to. Okay, this is a community, organically grown. Peace and blessings. Y'all already know. And it's going on YouTube in a second.